Okay, Klaus, maybe you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, good morning. We are now in different time zones. You are in the afternoon, I'm in the morning in Berlin. And thank you very much for your invitation for this interview. And myself, I'm a psychotherapist, a Jungian analyst in Berlin, and a medical doctor, a psychiatrist, and neurologist. And we are going to speak about the importance of working with dreams, with our, for me, with my patients, and also in one's own life. And the reason why we speak today, because we met 3 years ago at your place in Taiwan, and I had the big opportunity to join your masterclass for Ullman groups, and from that time on, I'm very interested and excited from this method, and I use it too in my groups here in Berlin, which I have weekly in my practice.
Would you care to tell us something about these are Ullman groups that you lead, right?
Yes, with I call them dream-centered groups, and dream-centered because the Ullman approach is the structure of every meeting of the group. I have other groups too, but for some people, the Ullman group is the right thing to connect with their dreams, and it's all we use always the same structure. We ask at the beginning of the group who wants to share a group with the group, and then we work for two hours on one single dream, following the Ullman method. The dreamer presents the dream, and then the group is asking for some objective informations to the person in the dream, or for the things appearing in the dream, and then all the people in the group make this dream to their own dream. They think about it and feel about it as well as their own dreams. And after that, they share with each other in the group important thoughts or feelings about it. And the dreamer or the dreamer is listening and is nearby. And in a further step, the dreamer comes to the group, and we, and so on.
And it's go ahead.
Yeah, and those are very, very important experiences, because the energy of the dream goes to the whole group. All the sessions are very, very intensive, and people are really enriched to join their dreams and to take part on the thinking and feeling about dreams from others. And it seems to me that the group process is very important for understanding of one's own dream. But not only what the others say, but they bring so much different ways of looking on the dream, and of associations, that the dreamer always goes home with a feeling of being understood, and with the feeling of being enriched from those different standpoints, and the way the others in the group take part in his problems. Because at the end of the session, we come always to the real life, and to the things the dream wants to say, perhaps, for the dreamer, and what the metaphors in the dreams could mean, as we see the metaphors as the language of dreams, and as a way to connect the dream symbols with each other. And we always find a connection to the real life problems, which one has to undergo, one has to stand in the moment. And for example, in the last sessions, you find always a connection to this threat of the corona pandemic. And I make an example. There's somebody brought a small dream fragment to the group, and he said, I dreamt this different times. I was at home in my little flat alone, and I wanted to make a telephone call to somebody with my smartphone, and then the smartphone began to melt away. It was a sort of process of dissolution. It broke into parts, and I could no more speak to anyone, and was absolutely isolated at home. And he dreamt this 3 or 4 times in 2 or 3 weeks. And in the beginning, he had no idea that a connection with the situation, with the corona situation. Now we have the second lockdown in Berlin. It started 2 days ago, and people feel really scared and often isolated at home. They don't go out, the restaurants are closed, they can't go to the cinema and so on. And from this on, this guy began to think about his connections with friends and with family. And he started to make more telephone calls, to speak to his sister and to his nephews and nieces. One example. I'm always very astonished how a single picture. It's sometimes the dream is a real story, a complete story. It starts with like a piece of theater with an entrance scene, and then it comes to a climax with conflicts and fears, and at the end there is a solution. The dream ego found a solution, but often you get only one picture of the dream, and like a photo, like a stand photo, like a photograph. And also, if you have only a photograph of a dream, one picture of the whole dream movie, so to say, you can work very fruitful on this simple picture.
One single image.
Yeah, one single image, yeah.
It's amazing how much information is in a picture, you know. It's astonishing. Now you talked when you were here in Taiwan, you talked about the difference between symbols and metaphors, and about someone looking for symbols in dreams versus the metaphors with which dreams express themselves. Do you want to say more about that?
Yeah, all the images in a dream are metaphoric. I think the metaphors are a way for the brain to connect to connect meanings and images and experiences and remembrances. We can find this in the metaphors. And the Jungian psychology has, beside of this, a special look at certain metaphors. They, as Jung talked, had the idea that some metaphors are especially meaningful for somebody. We can look for metaphors of oneself, for example, and but it's not the most focus on the dream work. But when somebody had a dream and he dreamt of a car going around and is driving by itself. I make an example. I had last week in a radio emission. There was a young lady, and she said, "I had a strange dream. I went to my car, and as I do it daily, I went out of my garage and want to drive to my working place, and suddenly I had no control about nothing. The car was driving by itself, and he was bumping right and left at the walls and at other cars and so on. And I was very, very fearful. This was the dream of this lady. And it turned out that they, although it was all in connection with she was she has a business with people, and under condition of Corona lockdown, this business was in danger. She had a very strong fear that she couldn't get enough money for the next month, and that she loses control over the situation and over herself. And it came up that the car symbolized her life, the life circumstances, and herself too, because it was a special car. She earned some money and was able to buy a new car, a bigger one, and more comfortable. And now all this was in danger.
So I feel the metaphor there would, I feel would be loss of control.
Yes, yeah.
That's what happens with the coronavirus. We all lose control.
Yes, yeah. That's a metaphor. And the car symbolizes, was a symbol for the situation, but also for herself and for her endangered inner self, I want to say, yeah. But it's not so...
If you read, when I read, I love to read Jung. When I read Jung's books, I remember when I first started out in dreams, I would go through Jung's books looking for let's say, what the image of a snake means. You know what I mean? That's the way I would have. But now I don't do that, because I find that people's dreams, like your dream of the car, the dreamer comes up with her own symbols, if you will, or metaphors from her own life. Not, instead of referring to classical religions and history, it's more immediate. In the car, there's something where you really need control in a car. You have to have your wits about you. And how can you control something when it's going by itself? Like, you know, everything it's terrifying, really.
Yeah, but it's no really big difference, because my meaning of metaphors and the meaning of symbols, it's very, very, very similar, because there are no symbols who are general symbols or symbols which would be true for everybody. They are very, very personal and only meaningful in connection with one's own life. And therefore, the situation, like you described it, to lose control in this dream example, that's the main point in this dream.
It's really exciting, this work with dreams we're doing. It's really an exciting work. I can't believe why everybody's not interested in it.
Yeah, and yeah, people are strange with their dreams. It's very often that somebody comes in with a dream to the group and says, "I have no idea, not at all, what this could mean, what the dream picture could mean," and therefore we they are always very astonished what their dreams mean in the mirror of the other ones who bring it to them.
No, I find that true myself. When someone tells a dream, I almost always have no idea whatsoever what this dream means. I'm some dream expert. No, I'm not, because when I see a dream, I don't know what it means. But when the dreamer starts to, or when we associate with it in the group process, especially when the dreamer starts to tell her what happened before the dream, what they would call the context or the day residue. And then things start flying, you know, in your mind, and you start seeing the connection.
Yeah, and I find dreams are so very important because those are the real picture of one's own soul or inner self. With dreams, you have a direct connection to your unconscious psyche, who is working day and night for someone's own benefit, and to go on with problems and to go on with problematic experiences with other ones who are not so easy to integrate in and therefore dreams are very important objective function in psyche, because when you are going on in the sleep labor to underbreak the dreaming, you can see when somebody dreams sleeping, you can see it by the movement of the eyes, 4 or 5 periods during the night that he is intensively dreaming. And when you woke him up, every time he's beginning to dream, he will get, after some days, severe psychic problems. He will go to run sleepless and to have run out of energy, and also on going to go sick in a way. And though the dreaming has a very, very important objective function in mammals, you can say, because also animals are dreaming. And if somebody has a dog, he knows the dog is dreaming, or the cat is dreaming.
My dog dreams. He barks when he's asleep, and he moves his feet, you know.
Yeah. I want to say one word about the healing power of dreams, because I'm working with people who come with severe problems, and often with depressions, and with anxiety disorders, or with borderline personality, or psychotic problems, and for all of them, it's very important to make the experiences that there's an inner force working for healing. even if people come with horror dreams, in German it's called Albträume, or with horror dreams, and they learn that those horror dreams have a function, that they are not in a theater to horrify the person, but to make clear there are certain fears or certain experiences have to recognize or have to look again through. They all have a very, very big benefit from working with dreams, with their own dreams. In the single situation too, or with single psychotherapy, when I'm sitting with a patient and not with the whole group.
Have you always been interested in dreams, Klaus?
Very long time, since many years, and one reason for going to the Jungian direction was that I liked the way how Siggy Jung thought about dreams. You know, the Freudian look on the dreams is always you are always looking like a detective to find something behind the stories of the dreams or behind the symbols of the dreams. And Jung said the dream is what it is. It's a natural thing, and nobody knows what it means. And we have to look together with the person or with the patient, and we have to think about, together what it could mean.
Dreams are hiding the meaning, whereas you don't realize that dreams are really trying to get the meaning across. They're doing everything they can to reveal the meaning, and that's so touching to think that. That's what you said about working for one's own benefit. These dreams are just really trying to. The part of us that's arriving at the realization of the truth. They're not hiding anything. Right. And it's so exciting to read him. I mean, I just ate up one book after another many years ago when I first discovered him. And all of his writing is about dreams. It's based on dreams. And of course, myths and things, but.
Yeah. And if you are going to meditate a dream, if you are going to think not only one time about a dream, or if you have written it down and you can read it again one a week later or 1 month later, then you always get new impressions or new ideas about this dream. And though I recommend my patients always write your dreams down and from time to time read them again in your dream booklet or in your dream record. Then you, because if you have a series of dreams, not only a single dream, when you look at a series of dreams, you often understand more of the meaning behind, of the meaning, the long times meaning. If you have, how to say, a long-term sight on the work of the inner psyche, that's very good. And although it's also important the situation when somebody comes to psychotherapy, I think that his dreams and my dreams are in a way interconnected, and I often think about what my dreams, which connections they have with one of my patients or with a special problem who was coming up.
Well, that's interesting, because I found, like, because I'm writing, and so I found dreams function for me in an interesting and different way than just understanding. They seem to prime cognitive aspect or some intuitive
Yeah.
aspect, so that like with your patients, if your dreams will prime you, then you can understand your patient better because you've been primed with the kind of experiences you need
Yeah.
to understand that patient. So your mind is working at the same time the patient's mind is working.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
way it is with me in a piece I'm writing. The dreams prime me and help me to come up with. And then when the writing comes out, I wonder who wrote that, because it doesn't seem like I wrote that I could write that. You know, it's like something comes through me from the other side, from behind something. Some other thing comes through, channels through.
Yeah, that's true. And so, though we can say the dreams are, we are dreaming, the dreams are, or the sources of the dreams are always influenced by other ones too. The people we meet or we are connected with, or the dreams are dreamt between me and somebody.
I used to think that I needed to be smart. All this stuff, but it's not true, because the intelligence is built into the environment around me. And to the extent that I'm connected with my surroundings, the intelligence flows into me. It's not my intelligence, you know?
Yeah.
And with the people, like the patients you deal with, the clients, the friends, the dreams, and one level, we're very connected with them. And the dream is a level where we're connected, even with the environment.
Yeah.
I think it's so special. I feel like it's a mystery I've just begun to. I'll die before I ever get very deep into it. It's a big mystery, isn't it?
Yeah, and for there's one aspect of Jungian psychology I found too important. That means the connection with the collective unconscious, with the level in the psyche in which we are connected with all other people of our, perhaps of our cultural section, or this collective unconscious you can see sometimes in a dream, or you can think about it.
There's a book by Ian McGilchrist called it's about the left brain and the right brain, and how they differ. They do the same things, but they do it in very different ways. And the left brain is like a man with a little box full of ideas, you know, juggles all these ideas around.
Okay, yeah.
The right brain is different. The right brain is like connecting with a woman, or connecting with something, connecting. It connects with things, including our body, and including the spirit, the religious aspect, and including other people. And so I can't help but feel sometimes the dreams can tap into that aspect in ways that we are so good at doing, because we're in our ego so much. But the dreams are not. They're like in some different state. They're not exactly in the egoic state we're in. They may serve the functions of our ego, I don't know, but they seem to bring forth an energy with new kinds of insights.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's true. The ego is going to get strength from the unconscious self.
It gets strength.
Yeah, and in Jungian psychology, it's very important the idea that the ego should be connected with the inner self, and with the inner self, who has a sort of program for developing, for personal development. It's called individuation. That we have to go a certain way in our life. We have to fulfill some inner goals we don't know in the beginning, and which unfold, are going to unfold during a lifetime. And if this connection between the ego and the inner self is bad or is disturbed, somebody is going to get out of his power, or will get symptoms, psychological problems, and burnout problems in his profession and so on.
So in other words, you're saying it's close to remain true to who we really are. It's important to remain true to ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. That's and the dreams are, for me, the dreams are the helpers. They always are trying to say to help to find the right way in one's own life. And this could be from time to time very different from the conscious decisions, or from the way you are going to think about what would be right, or what you should do.
Because when we make those conscious decisions, we often are not taking all the variables into account. But the unconscious mind is different. It can't help but take everything into account, everything that it knows. It connects the past and the future. And it's really sort of exciting to think about that we have that resource, that capability.
And the dreams give a perspective to the future. Often they are connected with developments which will come, and try to help to get this new English to get a new view on the future problems you will have to stand, and you will have to go through.
Montague Ullman would talk about finding the context of a dream. In other words, in terms of context, we can understand the dreams. But some dreams have a context that hasn't happened yet. In other words, there's something that's going to happen, and the dream is organizing our feelings or our mind to be able to deal with that. And so it's true about the future, what you say.
Yeah.
There are different ways to express it, but it's true.
Yeah. One thing I want to say about the Jungian way, the Jungian aspect on looking on the dreams is, if you are are going to hear a dream, or to get a dream from somebody, you have your own associations. Associations with stories you have read about, or you know from life, or from cinemas, or from theaters, or from literature, and I like to bring those impressions to when we speak about dreams. Then I sometimes say at the end, and in regarding your dream, I think about this or that. In regarding your dreams, I think of perhaps of the story of Odysseus, who can find his home for that a long time, and other people, other stories I think about.
So the story, you tell the person that the story that comes to mind when you think about the dream.
Yes.
That's interesting. I never thought of that. But I would do that naturally without thinking, you know?
Yeah. And that gives sometimes an important impulse to the dreamer to think of his own stories, or to make the experience that his personal problem is in a wider connection with problems of mankind, or with problems which are long time, which are in a long time history of mankind, present also to other people. And it gives the feeling it's not you have not you not only have this threat, or this conflict in yourself. It's a conflict which has many people, or many people are infected with the whole ideology or with the whole fear. I think of your election in the United States today. It's something what in Germany a lot of people have fear how it goes out and who will win the election. And
I have fear.
And early in the Bible you find the story of the Israelitic people who were in the desert, and Moses went away, and they are beginning to dance around money, around a golden cow or a calf, and this is very, very similar to the situation.
It is. That's what happened with America. You know, it's really sad. But today's the day. Today's the day when the election results are coming out, and there's no. I mean, I just before we talked, I looked on the New York Times at the chart, and it's scary how much of America is for money.
Yeah.
For money. They don't look at the loss of soul. They look at the money.
Yeah.
Sad. And so there's a sickness. I had that experience once in a very personal way. I forgot the context. I wrote about it once, and I can't remember it right now. But I happened to go back to Cuba after many years. And up to that point, there was a certain condition, a kind of impoverishment that I always thought it was me, because I was dreaming about this. I was dreaming about walking through a forest in which all the trees had been cut down, or walking in a land where everything the environment had been destroyed. And I thought this had to do with me as a person. And then when I went back to Cuba, to the island where I grew up, the Isle of Pines, lo and behold, I realized this had to do with that place. And all the people in the place there, it was all infected with that. And I was feeling it from New York, from far away. It had to do with me because I was connected with that place. The impoverishment brought on that sad, beautiful, natural environment of that island. And we think it's us, you know what I mean? That's sick, but there's a bigger sickness loose out there, and it's just it's symptomatic somehow. It's interesting you mentioned that, especially with this American election.
And I came to this think about the golden cow because this morning I had a dream, perhaps connected with our interview, and I found myself in the dream in our Central Park in Berlin. This is called Tiergarten, this park in Berlin, and I met there a lady, middle-aged, and she was very sad. And I spoke to her, and I had the intention to understand what she's going to make sad and why she's in this way, but I couldn't help her really. And the strange thing in this dream was nearby there was standing a cow. The cow was tied with a rope to a tree, but it was not a fat cow with a big udder or so. It was a very skinny cow, skinny, and she did nothing. She looked only to us, to the scene, to me and to this sad lady, and that was it. That was a dream. And when I wake up, I thought about. I spoke the last days with my wife. We spoke a lot about the elections in the USA and how sad is this whole situation in your country, where it's really a divided country. half of the people are on this side and the other one on the other side, and there's a lot of hatred between people, and they are going to buy guns and so on. We can do some. We cannot do anything this way, but it makes us fear too, because the connection from Germany to the USA is changing in a way, because in former times the USA or the America was an important, was also a moral institution in a way, and this has changed. Yes, in a way, yeah. For democracy and for freedom of thinking, freedom of speech, and although to be open to science and to new findings and this is a little like a little earthquake going on.
You know, the Americans have been fighting this Islamic terrorism as if this is some evil force outside of America. But this is happening inside America with these fundamentalist evangelical Christian people who are fixed on certain dogmas about abortion and this and that, and also the people who are they're free market fundamentalists about the government is bad and you shouldn't restrict business at all. Let them do whatever they want. But oh my God, the businesses would destroy the environment. They would destroy everything. Without, you shouldn't regulate pollution. You shouldn't regulate the global warming. There's no such thing as the global warming. There's no such thing as the pandemic. These people actually believe this. They won't wear masks. They think it's Claus, America's coming undone. You know, it's really coming undone. It's really sad. Now, how is your dream connected with this, though?
I thought with this lady could stand for a sort of sadness, a sadness, kind of depression. There, we don't know exactly what comes out in this political process now. How the big political it's difficult to say. The feeling is the world is changing, and it's not changing in a way I like.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
The states are separate from each other. We have the Brexit with the
yes.
English who go out, which I feel very sad about, because I have English friends, and the development in America, and America first remembers very much of Deutschland über alles, which it's so similar, and it's so dangerous if you are going to think like this, and that's one side of this sadness. The other.
What about the cow in the dream?
The cow remembered me of cows I saw in India when I traveled in India. You have always, everywhere there are cows in the streets, and they are looking like this cow, but they are holy animals, and they are protected by the religion.
And they're not tied up.
Yeah, they're not tied up, but it's. So
you're saying it's a language
for me, it's. I thought of spirit, and I thought of nature. No, the cow is connected to nature and to the trees and to the natural surroundings, and she seems to be content, not to suffer in any way, and in a way happy in a way. Yeah, she was not going around, but she seems to be content with herself.
Content.
And yeah.
But she's tied up, right?
Yes, but this seems not to be. This had more the impression of being connected.
Connected. Oh,
not to be in under force, or it was a very small rope. She could go away if she would like to.
Isn't that interesting? It's very interesting. Why do you think that? Because we're meeting, because of this meeting that we're going to have, this video meeting here.
What?
The dream with the video meeting we're having now. You said you had the dream.
Yes, I think so. Because I often think about your. You have a very strong connection to Zen meditation, and you. It is a way of your kind of thinking and of your kind of being, which I feel when I speak with you, or when we met in Taiwan. And perhaps are you the cow in a way, looking at the scene and staying calm and waiting what comes up.
What comes out?
Yeah.
Wow.
It seems to be a wise cow in the dream.
A wise cow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So often animals seem to me to be very wise, like my little dog or the cat I used to have.
It's always in fairy tales. We have very often the helpful animals.
Yeah.
The raven who brings some information, or even the mouse who finds a way out of the prison. Yeah.
You know.
And interesting, the Hindu gods, they have always an animal with them, with their right and animals. Even on rats and Ganesha.
There's an elephant and a foot. There's always a little mouse. What's large is connected with what's small. You're right. There's always an animal. Yeah.
So we have to end now in the next minute, because I have to. My stepson has the birthday today, and so
oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so I think we covered everything. I just wanted to say your dream about the cow and the lady. I just wanted to say this. The thing about dreams sometimes that really touches me is that I would look at myself and think, oh, I'm just a boring, average person going through life. And then you have a dream that shows you, no, it's not true. You have a mystery in yourself. It's so deep and so wonderful. And then dreams do that, and not just with me, with everybody. We all have a mystery and a beauty and a depth inside of us. And we don't know exactly what it means, but it informs us and enriches us, like you keep using that word, enrich.
And everybody, if you speak with people, everybody has an experience in his life, so-called great dreams, which he will never forget his whole life.
Oh yeah.
Not very much. 2 or 3 great dreams, and they are important landmarks in the inner life?
Well, the American Indians, they would, when they were a young brave, they'd be looked to have a vision, a dream, like what you say, a great dream, to tell them what their spirit is, whether it's a bear spirit or a fox spirit. Or, in other words, and sometimes if they didn't have a vision, they would put hooks in their chest and they would hang, painfully hang until they started hallucinating to have the vision. I think it's true what you say. It's an informing vision telling us from the other side, giving us important information about ourselves. I think you're right. These are the great dreams. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. You have to go. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you so much, Bill.
And
will you speak soon to us? And
no, I guess I just pushed the end. Okay. So
yeah.
I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen.
Goodbye. Yeah.